right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Dan Gliatta here from Cargo. Just gave an amazing presentation as our very own David Bailey attended. I've been holding it down here at the fort, so I have to take people's word for it. Yep. But Dan, tell us about yourself. Tell us about Cargo, and then I'd love to hear about your topic.
Yeah, without a doubt. I'm the founder of Cargo, and what makes Cargo unique is we help big brands market to small business. So it's a niche within B2B that we've coined B2SB marketing. We help brands like Microsoft, Intel, Lenovo, 3M, Mercedes, RBC, because it's tough for big companies to talk, think, and market small. So we kind of bring the small business owner voice to the big brands so they can better connect, better motivate, and better find them.
That's interesting because a lot of times, these smaller brands, when a Microsoft reaches out to them, it's, whoa, wait, that's a huge organization. How could I possibly do business with Microsoft? What do I need? Yeah. But then it's interesting. So what your presentation was revolving around that as well?
Yeah, our presentation, because again, we help big brands on how to better connect with them. So our presentation was focused on a recent study on the fastest growing business owner segment, which is millennials. So there's a lot of perceptions of millennials, especially when it comes to business, and the reality doesn't match the perceptions. So we wanted to make sure we uncovered what truly motivates a millennial when it makes a business decision. And they're perceived as apathetic, lazy, and the reality of it is they just look at business completely different than previous generations like Gen X and Boomers.
No, I love that. And we were talking about it before. I mean, a lot of times the passion is really to the consumer. How do you see that playing a role in the B2B aspect of things, right? Because on the B2B marketing, you feel like it's just, oh, you're marketing to a company and that's it. Like, how do you see that shift moving into some of the personalization on the B2B journey?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we got to think about it as H to H and human to human side of things. B2B it sounds cold in its own nature. It's not a business marketing to a business. It's a person marketing to another person. So the more we could bring a human face to what we're doing and realize that if we want someone to act, we got to get them to feel first. You got to move the heart to move the mind, and to move the heart and to make them feel, you need to know what makes them tick. Because we're human beings, a very emotional lot. Yeah. So we got to figure that out. Sometimes it's fear, sometimes it's pain, sometimes it's joy, whatever that trigger point is. That's what we need to focus on. We too much in the B2B world think of it as one big lump of buyers. We need to think about the buyer side of things. A little bit more buyer enablement, a little less sales enablement.
I like that, and that's the way I approach. I always tell people, and I've been saying to different people that I've been interviewing, I say to the marketer, well, how do you want to be marketed to? What's going to make you, your life is busy, you're, juggling a family maybe, you have a job that you can influence and purchase products. What marketing messaging? Is it going to be one email? Is it going to be a variety of them? Is it going to be someone calling you? Have people think that way. And to that point, the last question, I know you have to get out here to catch a flight. I really appreciate it. The role that B2B data plays in all of this type of marketing, and then to that, if you could wave a magic wand and make the perfect data set or change anything about the data that you're seeing out there, what would that be?
That's a big question. Part of it is, and that's what we just did, is turning emotion into data. So if you're looking about what to do with data and the big data set side of things, is really you need a human being to turn that data to help try to tell a story from it, because it's based on insights side of it. The reality of it is data just for personalization. Personalization in its own term means it feels like you're talking to me on a one-to-one basis, and that goes more than just name, type of business, and all that stuff. You understand me, because the number one complaint we hear consistently and why big brands struggle at small businesses, and we hear this from business owners, is they say, you come to me selling to me versus talking to me. How can you prescribe an answer without taking the time to listen and understand my needs? I take that very personally, and that's personalization. So whether it's through the big marketing side and you're dealing with data, you got to figure out what makes that person tick if you want to get them to change how they act.
And I love that. And, Cargo, coming from you, hearing that, it's like, these small business owners, they started that business for a reason. There's a passion. It's like their own money a lot of times. It's like, maybe they worked as a banker and now they're like, I make these cookies that are amazing. And then they're doing that. So that's amazing. Dan, thank you so much for stopping by. Dan Gliatta from Cargo. We appreciate you taking some minutes to stop by the Stirista booth. This has been amazing.
Yeah, had a great time. Nice to meet you.
Take care.